Bleacher Report says the Bears, the Chicago Bears, are the biggest losers of the 2020 NFL offseason. Really? What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. If you are a Bears fan or an NFL fan at large, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I do talk a lot of that on the channel. And while you're at it, make sure to follow me on my social media. Links down below on the screen for my Twitter, my Instagram. Do all of that. Turn on post notifications. With that being said, here to talk about this interesting article posted by Bleacher Report. So let's get into it. So Bleacher Report came out with an article, and I'm looking at it right now. It's written by Brent Sobliski. Hopefully I didn't botch his name. Who basically says the Bears are the biggest loser in the NFL's offseason, okay? And you guys can go read the article yourself, just Google it. But I will paraphrase the article for you guys, okay? And say why they think the Bears are the biggest losers. And then obviously I will give you my perspective on if I agree or disagree. And they basically said really 4-5 main important points. Number one, and I've got the board here in front of me. The Bears trading for Nick Foles. They believe the Bears gave up too much, a 4th-round pick, to trade for Nick Foles, take on a salary, when they could have gotten guys for cheaper or really nothing in Cam Newton, perhaps Andy Dalton, guys like that, Jameis Winston, So that's point number one. Point number two, the Jimmy Graham signing. Obviously, they think that was an awful signing. I have actually agreed with that, and I've said that in previous videos. But I will get to that in a second. Number three, they didn't address actual needs, apparently. The offensive line, the cornerback to replace Prince Mukamara, a safety to replace Clinton Dix. The Bears didn't address those in free agency, okay? So they didn't address it well is another notion by Bleacher Report. And then finally, they say that the Bears kind of overpaid for Robert Quinn. They don't believe Robert Quinn is really worth that much money and a little overrated, okay? So basically, this is what BR says is the reason why the Bears had the worst offseason, and they're the biggest losers of the NFL offseason. And I'll start with this. You cannot say the Bears had the worst offseason or the biggest losers in the offseason unless the Houston Texans are no longer a part of the National Football League. Last time I checked, the Houston Texans are part of the 32 teams in the NFL. And as long as they're part of these 32 teams, nobody, not the Bears, nobody had a worse offseason than them, who traded away DeAndre Hopkins and couldn't even get a first-round pick. So right off the bat, Bleacher Report, who I like. I've actually written for Bleacher Report. You guys can go Google it. A long time ago I did. I like Bleacher Report a lot. This is, again, just one writer. But point being is, they're flagrant right off the bat because the Houston Texans still exist. Bill O'Brien still exists. And if they do, you can't make the claim that the Bears had the worst offseason because clearly the Houston Texans did. Okay? Number two, let's address these points made by Bleacher Report. And I'll start by giving them props for the Jimmy Graham signing. I told you the Jimmy Graham signing, nobody's going to like it. I want Jimmy Graham to prove me wrong and literally get 700-800 yards, 6-7 touchdowns, 40, 50, 60 catches. I want him to prove me wrong. But at this point, everybody thinks Jimmy Graham is washed up. Okay, so I knew they weren't going to give the Bears any slack for that, and I didn't give the Bears any slack for that. I wanted Austin Hooper, who they cited in the article as the guy the Bears should have gotten. Okay, I wanted Austin Hooper. The Bears didn't shell out the dough to get him, and Bleacher Report called that out. So no issues there. Nick Foles signing, trading for Nick Foles, I should say, not the signing. I obviously told you guys how I felt about this. Look, nobody wanted Cam Newton. Don't give me Cam Newton could potentially be better. Oh, you don't know that? No, I don't work in ifs, ands, or buts. Cam Newton, teams had an opportunity to trade for him. Every single team in the NFL, every single team passed. Every single team passed, okay? Because they didn't want to give up an asset. They didn't even think an asset was worth giving up for Cam Newton. Folks, the Panthers got a 5th-round pick for Kyle Allen. There was a team out there that thought Kyle Allen was worth giving up an asset, but Cam Newton wasn't. That's all you need to know, okay? Am I saying Cam Newton can return to be a good NFL quarterback again? No, but at this point, Cam Newton, not just the Bears, nobody believes in Cam Newton, okay? And so when you give me Cam Newton as the Bears should have traded for him, no, I'm not buying that. And as far as Andy Dalton and these other quarterbacks, look, folks, Andy Dalton, the only thing he's proven in this league is he knows how to lose, okay? I'm not a big fan of Andy Dalton at all. At least if you're going to sign a guy, get a guy in here that's a winner. We know Nick Foles is that, okay? And Jameis Winston, are you kidding me? He would have costed way too much money. And you would have had to sign him. You couldn't trade for him. So I was not a fan of that either. Nick Foles, if you want to say the Bears gave up too much in compensation, you can make that claim, sure. But I just told you, Kyle Allen got a 5th-round pick, okay? And as far as the structure for the salary and trading for it, look, I'll tell you this much. There was not another quality quarterback out there that you could have gotten for mega cheap. The only guy I told you guys was Case Keenum, and obviously the Bears didn't sign him. But that was the only other guy. Everybody else would have costed a lot of money, okay? Robert Quinn signing. Look, there's people out there that don't think Robert Quinn is that good, that he's a little overrated. But here's the thing. The Bears needed to get a pass rusher in here. Leonard Floyd wasn't cutting it. So it's literally damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if the Bears kept Leonard Floyd, oh, you didn't address the pass rusher position. And you didn't get a pass rusher in here. But the Bears get a pass rusher, oh, you overpaid for him. Folks, that's what you do in free agency. You overpay. Okay, it's free agency. It's a bidding war. Okay, I don't care what team you are. Yes, you shouldn't overpay, but there are times when you will need to overpay. And I'm not going to fault Ryan Pace for this one. He went out there, saw his guy, wanted him. He knew Leonard Floyd was underperforming. I like the Robert Quinn signing. I'm sorry, BR's wrong on that one. And as far as not addressing the offensive line, cornerback, safety positions, look, here's my thing with that. The Bears kind of let the free agency field play out here, okay? Obviously, they knew that tight end and quarterback was a top priority. And once those two positions got addressed, it was difficult for the Bears to find the money to be able to get the mega guys at the other positions. Now, I'm sure they have a plan in place. They're going to go ahead and address offensive line, cornerback, safety in the draft. So I'm not going to, just penalize the Bears so much because, they didn't address these positions. If they addressed them in the draft, we're fine. I believe it'll be a complete offensive draft here, or a majority of it. But certainly they do, and they could use another cornerback and safety. Mind you, they did sign Jordan Lucas. They did sign, Artie Burns. And so there are positions. These are positions they did address. If you don't think they addressed them too well, fine, but they did address them, okay? So overall, look, I gave my thoughts on this. I thought the Bears got a C+ for their free agency. I thought they absolutely missed on Jimmy Graham, should have signed Austin Hooper. Nick Foles, I'm fine with that signing. Case Keenum would have been cheaper. I would have preferred that, but Nick Foles, you won a Super Bowl. You have a guy, if Mitch Trubisky doesn't pan out, you can literally plug him in and you've got a win now roster. And so that's good. But for the most part, I don't think the Bears were close to being the worst team to have the worst offseason in the NFL. I think Bleacher Report missed on this one, and I think they know it. And that's how I feel. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.